Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to take a look at his face. I do not feel bad for him. I don't want y'all to feel bad for him if y'all knew what he did. I got to tell you, I just personally just want to see more things like this happen to people who hurt, murder, and abuse kids and take advantage of kids and assault kids. I don't like anybody who hurts our babies. And I'm just saying, if a little bit of prison justice or a little bit of street justice just so happens to hit people that deserve it, then it's hard for me to be mad about it. Hopefully that's safe enough for me to say without getting flagged on YouTube. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I understand it. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we're using fox6now.com for this article, so thank you for the face, sir. Thank you for this article. A Milwaukee man, an alleged man, is in jail on charges that he repeatedly sexually assaulted not one, but two children. All right? Two children. One allegation involves a 13-year-old, which would make him what? That would make him a hebephile, because that is after the age of pubescence, so not a pedophile quite. But even though I believe that if you mess with him at 13, you might have messed with him earlier than that. So who knows? But 13 years old who went missing and was found last week, while the second person dates back 25 years prior. Now that is hellified interesting. But again, that doesn't surprise me because people like this and their mentality, people who like to take advantage of underage people, of children, that is just who they are. And that mentality cannot be rehabilitated. It can't be fixed. It just needs to be punished. I want y'all to remember always that I said that. Now, on Sunday, November 24th, 37-year-old Antonio R. Randolph made his first appearance in court. If convicted, his faces was beat up. He faces 100 years in prison. And that sounds like a whole lot of ass whoopings. They said, it's weird. After 32 years, you would think that you've seen everything. I'm talking about me, of course. And then something happens to let you know you will probably never see everything. And that's according to Milwaukee County Circuit Court Commissioner Barry Phillips during Randolph's initial court appearance. Reading this complaint is almost hard to believe. They couldn't make this up in Hollywood, Phillips added. And shout out to Tommy Sotomayor for you can't make this shit up. That's basically what they're trying to say without ever giving that man credit. But shout out to Tommy. Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty, as your attorney has stated, but I will note for the record that if the statements you've given to police are true, you have at least supported both charges against you because you have admitted allegedly sexual conduct with two children. A criminal complaint said Randolph met a runaway 13-year-old on November the 18th at a gas station on 50th in Lisbon. Prosecutors said he and another man sexually assaulted her in a nearby home around 46th in Lisbon. The first one, the child is only 13 years old, Phillips said, and you are 37 years old. Then prosecutors say Randolph confined the girl to his grandmother's basement. Meaning he was probably living with his grandma, which makes him even more a POS, a piece of shit. His grandmother's basement on 95th Street, and he would not let her call her parents. Prosecutors said the girl said no and stop multiple times. She's a runaway, allegedly. You take her to a house, allegedly, try to have sex, and then allegedly take her to your grandmother's house and lock her in the basement where you admit to attempting to have sex several times, Phillips said in court. Then, on November 20th, a family friend spotted the girl with the man at the same gas station where prosecutors said that they met. Family members then fought Randolph in a video streamed online, which we will not show. It would be nice if we had the old YouTube, where YouTube was nice and raw and we could just show things and show these confrontations, but we can't show them anymore. But family members fought Randolph in a video that was streamed online. The video complaint said that when another victim saw the video and recognized Randolph, the family member comes and administers some street justice, quote unquote, and allegedly beats you up, and it gets streamed to Facebook. And then the person you allegedly had sex with when you were a child sees the video and said, "That's the man that raped me when I was a child," Phillips said. You can't make that up. The criminal complaint said when the second victim was about 5 and Randolph was 12 years old, she was living with Randolph's mom on 46th Street. It alleges he sexually assaulted her several times over the course of a school year, which was 25 years ago. So he was 12 and she was 5. Jesus Christ. So now, not only are you sitting her for allegedly raping one child, you're now sitting her, or here, I think they meant here. So you're not only sitting here for allegedly raping one child, you're now sitting here allegedly for raping 2 children, Phillips said. The complaint said Randolph told investigators he thought the 13-year-old girl was 19 years old. Randolph will be back in court in December, which is this month, and at least one other man was arrested on suspicion of sexual assault in the case, but has not been charged yet. So when he is, we'll post his face too. The criminal complaint alleges he and a third man sexually assaulted the 13-year-old girl. And I want to put all of their faces up here, and I hope that all of their faces look just like this or maybe a little bit worse. But I do want them to face justice, no pun intended. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If y'all are sick of this stuff going on like I am, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, click the like button, and share these videos. Make these type of stories go viral. That way all these criminal pedophiles and hebophiles can be exposed. All right, let's go.
New at 10, a Milwaukee man today made his first appearance in court on charges of repeated sexual assault of a child. Our Kaylee Starl joins me now in studio. And Kaylee, you listened to that hearing. The details here are disturbing.
Ryan, they are disturbing. 37-year-old Antonio Randolph is charged with 1 count of repeated sexual assault of the same child with at least 3 violations and another count of repeated sexual assault of the same child. His first appearance today had the court commissioner in disbelief.
You know, it's weird. After 32 years, you would think that you've seen everything. Talking about me, of course. And then something happens to let you know you probably will never see everything.
Prosecutors read a criminal complaint Sunday saying Randolph and a friend allegedly met a 13-year-old girl who ran away. They say Randolph took her to a home and tried to have sex with her, then proceeded to take her to his grandmother's house, lock her in the basement, and again allegedly attempt to have sex. He then left her with another friend who did the same. After, the court commissioner says they were seen in public by someone who knows the girl's family, who quickly came and, quote, beat him up.
And it gets streamed on Facebook. And then the person that you allegedly had sex with when you were a child sees the video and says, "That's the man that raped me when I was a child." You can't make that up.
I have requested that full criminal complaint from the Milwaukee County District Attorney. We do know Randolph is being held on $50,000 cash bail and will be in court next for a hearing on December 3rd at 1:30. Ryan?
Yeah, tough details there. Kaylee, thank you. We will stay on top of this story and provide updates when we get our hands on those court documents.
Well, first, our big story at 5. A man's in jail on charges he sexually assaulted 2 children.
One is a 13-year-old who went missing and was found last week. A second dates back 25 years. Jason Kelvey is in the newsroom with the latest on this. Jason.
Hey, Mary, the defendant faces up to 100 years in prison. On Sunday, he made his first appearance in court. Prosecutors charge 37-year-old Antonio Randolph with repeatedly sexually assaulting 2 children.
Reading this complaint is almost hard to believe.
The first sexual assault allegation dates to last week.
The first one, the child is 13 years old, and you're 37.
A criminal complaint says Randolph met a runaway 13-year-old on November 18th at this gas station at 50th and Lisbon. Prosecutors say he sexually assaulted her in a nearby home. Then they say he confined the girl to his grandmother's basement on 95th Street, and he wouldn't let her call her parents. Prosecutors say the girl said no and stop multiple times. Then on November 20th, a family friend spotted the girl with the man at the same gas station where prosecutors say they met. Family members then fought Randolph, with video streamed online. That's when prosecutors say another victim saw the video and recognized Randolph.
And the family comes and administers some street justice and allegedly beat you up. And it gets streamed on Facebook. And then the person that you allegedly had sex with when you were a child sees the video and says, that's the man that raped me when I was a child. You can't make that up.
The criminal complaint says when the second victim was 5 and Randolph was 12, she was living with Randolph's mom on 46th Street. It alleges he sexually assaulted her several times over the course of a school year. That was 25 years ago. And so the complaint says Randolph told investigators he thought the 13-year-old girl was 19. We know at least one other man was arrested on suspicion of sexual assault in this very case. Ben?
Jason Calvey reporting live from the newsroom.
And there was allegedly a third man involved in this also. So there's actually a fourth person involved in this, in my estimation. Do y'all know who it is that they haven't spoke on yet? If you were able to kind of follow the story. There's a fourth person in this situation. Do y'all want to know who the fourth person is? You guessed it. Grandma. Here's the thing. I'm not so sure, depending on the time frame and how long that this man had this child detained, illegally detained at his grandmother's house. Yes, his mother. Or grandmother. No, excuse me, grandmother actually. Had this little girl detained at his grandmother's basement. How did she not know? If she knew, then I think she should be arrested too with her old, decrepit ass. Huh? Oh, I don't like to let nobody off the hook who plays a role in aiding and abetting a hebephile and a pedophile. Anybody who hurts, murder, abuses kids and somebody helps them? What? I bet some of y'all are probably thinking like, damn. I think this is really why y'all come by the AFC podcast. I really truly believe that because the news ain't going to say that. Most regular podcasters aren't going to say that. Even child advocates aren't going to say that. But guess what? I'm going to say that because the thing is I'm not scared of backlash and I'm not scared of being wrong and I'm not scared to speculate on what I think actually makes sense. There's no way that broad, and I'm going to call her a broad until I find out otherwise, that she didn't know that this man was harboring another human inside of her house for any length of time. Unless she was dumb, deaf, blind, and has dementia, that's the only way I would be willing to make an excuse for that. That's it. Outside of that, if she was able to see, if she was able to hear, if she was able to talk, she was able to walk, and you had your senses about yourself, there's no goddamn way that she did not know and did not suspect, regardless of what he told her, let alone the fact that his old ass at almost 40 years old, shouldn't be living in your house, let alone be bringing another human there. You better not be bringing anything that has a heartbeat inside that house outside of yourself, because you, as old as you are, should be able to self-sustain. You should be able to take care of yourself. Y'all see, y'all can tell I'm feeling better, right? Can y'all tell I'm feeling better? I'm starting to speak more clearly. My mind is right where it needs to be. I feel a lot better. You shouldn't be allowed to bring a dog, not a hamster, not a cat, not a ant farm, nothing living in that house outside of yourself if you can't provide for yourself. I just refuse to believe that she had no idea that this man had a female, a child, any other body in that house outside of him. And if she knew, I think she needs to be investigated, and I think she needs to face charges and prove that she did not know. If you want to play innocent until proven guilty, then yes, let her be innocent until proven guilty in court. And if she's proven innocent, then let her go. Outside of that, I like what happened to his face. For those other two individuals, I would whenever the videos pop up for when street justice happens to those other two people, short of doing something to permanently make it to where they can't make it to court. Like I think this is good enough right here. A couple of punched in eyes, black eyes. I like that right there. I like that type of street justice, because they need to be able to survive and make it to court, face the charges, make it to prison, and then face the prisoners in prison when they go, right? Keep those kids in your prayers. And that's really all you can do. We're not going to release their names or their information because they are still alive and thriving. So keep them in your prayers, okay? Let me know what you guys think about this story. I hate all pedophiles. I hate all people who assault children, period.